Everyone. Hi. Thank you for joining us for today's webinar, Getting the Most Out of AI for Sustainable Marketing, with our guest speaker, Warren Laine-Naida, who is a web generalist and a digital consultant. So I wanted to say a couple of words about GreenGeeks for those of you who may be watching and are not familiar with us. We're a 300% green energy web hosting provider, which essentially means we put back 3 times the power we consume into the grid in the form of renewable energy. And we have been recognized by the US EPA since 2009 as a green partner. And we offer share hosting, reseller hosting, VPS, and dedicated server. Now, moving on to the webinar, a few housekeeping items. If you have any questions that come up during the webinar, if you could please put them in the Q&A so that Warren can answer them at the end of his presentation. And you're always welcome to chat in the room, in the chat room. Just remember to select everyone if you want everyone to see what you're discussing. And we're recording this as always. So if you have to step away, no worries. We'll be sending the recording to you in a couple of days. And finally, we have enabled live transcription for this webinar. So you have now the ability to enable them by going to live transcript and show subtitles. So I'm going to introduce Erica from our team, Erica Barbosa, who's be assisting us with the Q&A and the chat. Hi, Erica, do you want to say hi, introduce yourself?
Thank you, Anna. Hello, everyone. I am Erica Barbosa. I am from Costa Rica. I work in the partners team, and today I'm going to be assisting the chat and sharing some links about the webinar. And I hope you enjoy today this webinar. Thank you, Anna and Warren.
Thanks, thanks for helping, Erica. Now I'm going to say a few words about Warren. Warren, before he began his career in online marketing, he was a chef. Chocolate was his specialty, but he found early on that he had a sweet tooth for marketing. And when building his first website in 1998, he discovered a real passion for the web and what it offers. Today, as a web generalist, author, and teacher, he shares that passion through his consulting, teaching, and content creation. Warren's focus is about adult education, small businesses, and nonprofit organizations. Wonderful. Welcome, Warren. Would you like to say hi and then start your presentation?
Hello. Hello, Anna. Hello, Erica. Thanks very much for having me back.
Of course. Would you like to start say something about anything else about you, or I covered everything?
Well, I think I find it really interesting because the last time I was on your show was pretty much 1 year to this date, a year ago. And we talked about sustainability and marketing hygiene, and no one thought that a month later there would be ChatGPT. So, the last time we talked, we didn't even think about AI, and the last year, that's all anyone's talking about. It's really, I find that really interesting that what's happened in the last year. It's kind of crazy.
Yes, that is very true. A lot of things have changed since our last webinar with you. So great.
I'm not Bobby Flay. Who is Bobby Flay? Someone's going to have to explain that to me. There's some things I don't know, but Bobby Flay, who's Bobby Flay?
I am not sure. And
Preston Sanchez,
yeah,
who's Bobby Flay? We'll have to figure that out. Let us know, please, in the thing. Oh, a famous chef. Okay. Oh, right. Yes. I have heard that before. As Anna said, I have my first training as a chef, but I went from marketing to cooking and then back to marketing. So yeah. But that's kind of works out really well because AI is pretty much just like getting a recipe right. So if you get a recipe wrong, you get a bad meal. If you put in a bad prompt, you get a bad result. So it's kind of the same. So
that's true. So would you like to share your screen?
I can start the presentation. I'm, it's 8 o'clock at night here in Germany. So my technical abilities might be a little slow here. I'm
Okay.
just going to see if I can do that. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can see your screen. Wonderful. Let's get started.
Excellent. Okay, I'm going to spring back and forth because I've got some examples I want to show as we go. But yes. Okay, so then I guess I'll start. So as you may or may not have heard, if you just got in or if you got in earlier, my name's Laine-Naida. I'm sitting here in Germany at the moment, where it's 8 o'clock at night. So hello, Italy. Hello, everyone else in Europe. I've been in Germany for about 30 years. And before that, and kind of in between that, also in Canada. I've worked in the States, I've worked in Japan. I'm originally from the UK, but right now I'm in Germany. So I wanted to talk about AI because that's all anyone really wants to talk about anymore. Certainly in any of my classes, that's all the students want to talk about. So we'll talk about AI. And I'd like to connect it to what I talked about this time last year, and that's sustainable marketing. So how can we use AI to continue our marketing in a sustainable and healthy way? So that is the point. There's a lot to talk about. We cannot talk about this in 1 hour. Okay, we can't talk about this in 4 weeks. So if you are on X or Twitter or whatever you're calling it these days, connect with me. All right. You might have some questions later, next week, next month. You might want to connect, anytime. All right. So no rush to take a lot of notes and, oh, we didn't get a chance to chat today. There's lots of time. All right. I'm not that old yet, but there you go. Something I don't know if any of you have heard of Yuval Noah Harari or saw his Frontiers Forum talk in May. But what he said there, I found really interesting, and I wanted to mention it before we start, because when we talk about sustainability, when we talk about the ecosystem, when we talked about the environment, we've always talked about people and animals and plants. So we're always talking about ecological, organic connections. But our world is really changing. So now with AI, we have the potential of having non-organic life or possibly non-organic agents, which are going to affect our world. And I find that really, really interesting. It's not just about people and animals and plants anymore. It's about artificial intelligence and what it might be doing with us, or possibly what it might be doing by itself. So the whole idea of sustainability of life is I think changing. It certainly will change as the years go by. We've seen a lot of change already just in the last 12 months. So again, just to refresh what we're talking about when we're talking about sustainability and marketing. What I like to talk about is marketing hygiene. Okay, of what goes into keeping sustainable and clean marketing. And here we're talking about mindfulness, and how can we get AI into our marketing mix? How can we use it to to oil the wheels, to get things moving easier, to reduce our carbon footprint? How we can use AI to create and support, really support our marketing processes. These are the 3 topics that we talked about last year, and I think they're still really, really relevant. Okay, especially what we all know, the idea of, oh my God, that meeting could have been an email. Well, perhaps in the future, then we'll be saying, oh, that meeting could have been, a prompt, or it could have been something from our AI bot, So we're not moving away from these things. AI is just a tool, just another tool. The game hasn't really changed. The idea of promoting sustainable, mindful, sensible, clean solutions is still very, very important. And AI can go a long way to support and help us in these areas. Of course, it could go the other way. It could all go completely wrong, but let's hope it continues to go in the right way. Okay, so a little bit about myself. You heard that, I was a chef. I teach. I have clients, small businesses, nonprofits, but I do most of my work is teaching. Adult education is a big part, but a growing part is at the University of Applied Sciences here. Here is digital transformation, AI in marketing, specifically digital marketing, where I'm teaching quite a bit. And I write a lot of books. I write course books. I write books to help small businesses and things. Really try to get the most out of the free tools that we can use in marketing. And thankfully, at the moment, AI is still a very important part of those sort of free tool set that we have. Everybody has a mom, right? I mean, we all had a mom or have a mom. I mean, my mother is no longer with us. I'm very old. But moms always talk about cleanliness, okay? And moms know, as a lot of people know, that just because it looks clean doesn't mean it is. All right. So cleanliness is really about protecting ourselves. All right. So if we translate this into marketing, it really means that if we have clean processes, they will be sustainable, which means they'll be long-term. Okay. This will help us save money. Okay. It'll help us ward off external threats, perhaps by competitors, perhaps by saving us money, etc. So, this idea of cleanliness, of keeping sensible, hygienic systems in our processes is really, really important. Okay, and I think everybody knows this. Anyone who codes out there, okay, a lot of us code. Okay, and there's this basic premise when you code is to reuse code. Don't type in the same thing 6 times. You typed it in one, reuse it. Okay, and this is a basic premise, so you don't need to reinvent the wheel. There's probably a lot of things that you do and you don't even think about, but if you analyze it, you go, yeah, these are little things that we've developed over time that get us from A to B much quicker. And that's just another way of saying this is a sustainable, hygienic process. Why is this important? Okay, well, I think most of us are in business in order to win. Now, I don't mean win in a bad way. I just mean getting from A to B in an effective, successful way for ourselves, for our customers, for our families, so that we're happy. No one likes losing. It's often important to lose because then we learn. You can't always win. It's kind of difficult to, learn something if you're always winning. But that's really, I think, an important part of sustainable, of hygienic marketing is that speed wins. All right. Anything that we can do to reduce friction, less moving parts. This is why e-cars are so much faster than gas cars. Simply the power goes to the wheels immediately. There's no spark plugs or anything like that. Okay. And AI is really, it's an important part of our process to get from A to B quicker. Has anyone used AI in the last year? Probably 1, 2. Dave has. So Dave has used AI in the last year. I have to admit, I have as well. All right. Now, when I started using it, it was a little bit like when I went from coding my websites to using WordPress. Now, I love WordPress, but like 10 years ago, when I started using it, I was going, this is horrible. I've lost control. It takes so long to click, click, click. But now I find that it gets me from A to B much quicker when I'm building a website. So I use AI in the same way. I'm not going to sweat building a structure perhaps for a program when I can at least get some input from AI while I'm making my coffee. Then I can come back and say, aha, So that idea of winning, of saving myself time through speed, and then AI becomes a very assistive, very useful tool, okay? So 3 things I wanted to talk about today, or tonight, and how we can use AI for our sustainable marketing. So the first thing is using AI for personalized marketing, for lead generation, all right? I think that's probably a very important part of everyone's marketing, whether you're doing lead gen in social media or email marketing. You want to get clients, okay? You want to get people to sign up. You want an email address. You want a telephone number. So lead generation. So how can we use AI for lead generation? Okay. The second is to make our whole process a little more efficient. And something it's not new. We've seen for a lot of years are chatbots. Okay. Everyone has them. IKEA has them. Rocket has them. I'm thinking of getting one. If they're good, then this is fine. It can answer questions for us or for our customers when we're in bed. So that's pretty efficient. Okay. So how can we use chatbots? And the third thing I think probably everyone has had their fingers in is content generation. Okay. So using AI to generate content. All right. Now, this can be everything from pictures, code, text, generating emails in MailChimp, optimizing text, even in Canva, So what tools can we use to save ourselves a bit more time? Now, for all of this, it means that we're saving time to do something better. Okay? We can't fall in the trap of using AI to save ourselves time so we can play computer games. No. Okay? We have to use this time for good. All right? So if we save ourselves, an hour, then maybe we should use that hour to, I don't know, plant a tree, wash out our yogurt containers, tutor someone math. We need to do something good with this time we've saved. All right? So otherwise, it's not really fair. All right, so good. Quickly, what do we mean when we say AI? Because everyone has, all sorts of different ideas. All right, could be killer robots. Okay, could be microbes and stuck in our head. Could be chat. Could be all sorts of stuff. Okay, basically, what we mean is we have a computer that simulates human intelligence. Okay. Now, I know you're laughing and going, well, in some cases that doesn't take much. Yes, that's true. Sometimes we have to wonder at how unintelligent people are, but I think in general we really try and we can be intelligent. So if we have a computer that can simulate the best in what people can do, that's pretty good. We have self-driving cars. We've got all sorts of things. Again, the world domination through AI, people talk about this, but we've also got the friendly AI or generative AI. And the generative AI is usually the AI that we're talking about, okay? Midjourney, ChatGPT, all of these AI tools that create things for us, okay? This is our hands-on AI, all right? So generative AI, it differs from the other types of AI that exists, okay? Mostly because that's the AI that we're using. This is really, soft AI, basic AI that people can use and type in and give me a better explanation than this, etc. Most of us probably aren't using the strong AI yet. Okay, but most of the AI that we see is very weak AI. All right. There's different types of AI. We've got reactive AI for the cars. We've got theory of mind AI for customer assistance, supervised learning AI, reinforcement learning AI. So depending on what you're trying to achieve with this tool, you could use different types of AI. And some obviously are stronger than others. Okay. For marketing for me, you can break down into 2 parts. All right. Machine learning and generative AI. So generative AI, like we all know, we can use this to make our pictures, such as this picture here, videos, text, all sorts of things, music, code. Has anyone built a website just using AI? Anyone else? Okay. How does it look? It's a little wonky. I mean, it's there. It's quite incredible that it's there. It needs some help. Um, AI really doesn't seem to understand cascading style sheets yet. I mean, this is at least my opinion. This is always where it seems to go wrong. AI doesn't seem to understand responsive very well yet, at least again, in my experience. Okay. So generative AI is the AI that we use to create content. Now, the other side, a really important part of this AI for marketers, is the machine learning. So the machine learning are the algorithms. All right. So if we're going to send out an email, okay, we would use the generative AI to put in the images, to get that text just right. But the machine learning would be necessary for the algorithms to decide, okay, who's going to get this email? How often are they going to get it? Yeah. Should we even send it to them on Monday, etc.? So our machine learning tells us about customer behavior. It helps us get the email to the right person, whereas the generative AI will help us craft that really beautiful email, hopefully. So you can either say, one of two ways. Generative AI saves us the time, while the machine learning improves, hopefully, the results of our campaigns. Okay. Or the other way saying is that we can use the generative AI for our content production, while the machine learning that goes into the overall effectiveness of our marketing strategies. So you can see where it goes. One's words, one's numbers. I think for most of us, we're not number people. Maybe I'm not a number person. Anyone a number person? So I'm very thankful for machine learning. Okay, Anna, you're not a number person. I'm here seeing you giggle there. I like crafting content, but when it comes to numbers, give me AI any time of the week. So other things we can do with AI in our marketing, we gain insight into customer data. Okay. We can use this to enhance the customer's experience with personalized content, with push notifications, et cetera, is a very, very important. Number three, if we're talking about saving time of getting from A to B really quickly, then AI can help us minimize our mistakes. Now, anyone who's spent time in AI knows that not everything that comes out can be used. Okay, you gotta check it, So it can help us with our errors, but doesn't mean that it's error-free. AI can really also help us with our data management and the quality of our data, because AI can crunch numbers like no one. Okay, no human being can beat AI at chess. Those days are gone. And as time goes on, AI will be able to do many more things that just people cannot beat because it can crunch numbers. No one likes crunching numbers. And at some point, you just stop crunching. But AI can crunch numbers forever, well, as long as it's plugged in. And AI can really help, in general, boost our return on investment. And that's a very important part of our sustainability as well. If we're doing good, if we are there to do good with our company or our NGO or just ourselves, we need to do good for a long period of time, and that's difficult to do if we're not in business. So if we're able to save money, this is really, really important. So let's start at the basics. I think one of the things that everyone does with hands-on with AI is prompting. All right. And one way to save time and money is simply, like any other thing, is to work smarter, not harder. So let's call it prompt smarter, not harder. Okay. AI is no different than any other tool. Okay, it's only going to give us what we put in. Okay, if we make a cake, the cake's going to taste good as long as we use good ingredients, as long as we use a good recipe. All right, prompting is exactly the same way. Okay, so if the data is bad, bad data in, bad data out. Here's two examples, prompts, pretty normal. If I go to ChatGPT and say, where can I go on vacation this year? What am I going to get? Well, probably not too much. Here, I'll give you an example because I did this already. Where is my ChatGPT? Okay, so where can I go on vacation this year? Okay, now I'm using the chat for, okay, spending that 20 euros for the month, okay. So it's just giving me some information and it's like, oh, that's very, very nice, but I like how it puts in the global situation, okay, global situation. So maybe it's sending me to the Caribbean, Southeast Asia, but that's very vague, okay. Now, if I put in something else, like I'm going to give it some more information here. All right, and come back over here and say, that's all very nice and good, but now instead of just saying a vacation, I'm going to say, how long? Okay, I got a 2-week vacation. I probably have a preference. Let's say Greece. All right, now it's not going to be summer. Let's say January. Okay. I'd like some more information. I'd like some top places to visit. I'd like accommodations. I'd like essential travel tips. Now, unless it's just going to send me to the Ritz-Carlton, I should give it a budget. I have a budget of, let's say, 2,000 euro. And it would also be good for them to know, where I'm flying out of. Okay. I'm flying out of Munich, Germany. Aha, because there are other Munichs. Okay. And I'm sure I'm going to get, well, I know I'm going to get some completely different things. Okay. So off seasons, giving me some top places to visit, recommended accommodations. And then later on here, it's going to give me travel tips. See, budget of 2,000. It's giving me information about my flights, accommodation, transport, okay, weather, advice here about this, okay? So just like a recipe, if I tell my chef exactly what to put into the cake, then I'm going to get a much better cake than if I just say, make me a cake, all right? I think anyone who's done any prompting understands that that's pretty much basic practice. Sorry, it's my German slipping in, but it's really, really important. Okay. Now, anyone who's done any work with images knows exactly the same way. Same thing happens. If I go into, let's say, Bing. Bing has their image and I just type in cat, that's what I get. Okay, it's pretty good, but still cat, okay? Now if I type in orange cat, I get that. And then if I type in orange tabby cat sitting by a window in the sun, now I get more detail, okay? So you get out what you put in, all right? So there's two elements to a prompt, and they're really important if we're thinking, I want to use this tool for my marketing. Because what do we use in marketing? We use customer data. All right. Customer data is, on one hand, sensitive. It's personalized. All right. If someone gets an email for us mentioning their name and special things about them, we better be darn sure we're allowed to use this information. But if we are, it can be very effective. So customer information is sensitive, but it can be very, very useful because we can personalize. All right. So 2 parts, priming and grounding. Okay, so let's talk about priming first. when we prime, we're saying, okay, AI, get in the mood. We're going to do something. All right. It means the way we structure and phrase our prompt. Okay. So without priming, you say, where should I go on vacation? It'll say something like, okay, well, how about going to France? But if I say, where should I go on vacation with beaches? Then it's going to say, okay, well, the Algarve has nice beaches. Okay. That's a very, very basic example. And I'm sure anyone who's done this knows that if I'm going to ask AI for a social media strategy, then we'll probably sit down with AI and say, AI, you are a social media manager. You work for this type of company. These are your types of clients. Yeah, these are the platforms you act on. We're giving the tool all the necessary information so we can say, all right, I understand. And then we can start to ask it for help. So that's priming. This is very important. It's the first step. The next one is grounding. So grounding is where we say, okay, you know what you're supposed to do. Now, here are the facts, all right? It enables us to give very concrete, specific scenarios, context, but then here would be, we could really use it for customer data, all right? We could say, instead of just where should I go on vacation, we could say I have a week off in January, I'm looking for a warm travel destination, et cetera, where should I go? All right. Now, if we throw in some customer data here, all right, then it could look something like this. If we prime and ground, we get a tailored response, which is normally spelled T-A-I-L-O-R-E-D, but I spelled it wrong. All right. Because I still type in myself and I didn't get AI to write this. So, if we're adding some safe customer data, what could that be? Well, our customers have, travel history. They have a budget. We know what they spend. We know what their loyalty programs are. We know their preferences. We know how long they usually like to stay. We know who they travel with, et cetera. So we know a lot of information. And we could put this information into prompt for a very good email. So instead of just us getting an email going, hi, this is your travel agency. Where would you like to travel this month? It's like, Instead, they could, and I put them in bold here, we could put in the information in the email where the person's name is there. We mention a place we know they haven't traveled to before, but maybe they've traveled in areas around Morocco. Okay. We know they like adventure vacations. We know where they live. We know what the weather is like where they live. Okay. We know their loyalty program. And because we're serving them, we have a name. And this sort of email, this sort of message would be much more effective. Okay. I can show you another example of that here. Let's imagine this. Here's an example, okay? So what I've done here is I'm imagining that I'm a jewelry store. I'm not a jewelry store, but one of my customers is. So we would like to send out emails to people to come to our jewelry store, okay? Now, we already have personas built out. We've also got customers, we've had events. So we've got a pretty good idea who these people are, okay? And we could be pretty specific, okay? We have a name, we know what they're doing, we know how much money they have, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So we could copy this. I'm just gonna copy this and I'm gonna jump over here to here, and I'm going to say, please write me an email. I always say please and thank you for when the apocalypse happens. Please write me an email to invite my customers to our jewelry store. Okay, so you're going to get something really, really basic. Okay, blah, 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 blah. This is very generic, all right? And probably not something we would send out. Okay, now we try it with the information that we have. Okay, please send out an email to our customer, to our jewelry store customer. Here is her information. Okay. All right. And then it's probably just going to crash. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Here we go. Hi, Alex, blah, blah, blah. College life in Boise. This is very, very specific. Okay. So all of those things that we know about the customers can get put right into this. And this works for emails. It works for social media, anything you want to do. Okay. It's simply just prompting smarter. Okay. Priming, putting in the grounding, and having much better results. Okay. So I'm gonna have to speed up here a little bit. Like I said, yeah, you could talk about this for days. So, right. Okay, so that's the basics for, like what anyone could do with a prompt. No special fancy tools, just get the prompts right. So let's talk about three things here. Let's talk about personalized marketing, what we can do with AI, then the chatbots, and then the content generation. So first thing, all right. So three interesting things that we can do. The first thing is we can use AI to make very personalized marketing campaigns. Now, normally we're thinking email marketing here, all right? Does anyone use MailChimp? MailChimp at the moment has Intuit, which is its AI section, all right? And Intuit will create incredibly good personalized campaigns for you, all right? It's part of the free trial, as long as you've got less than 500 addresses, all right? This is in our link collection. Definitely check it out. MailChimp has really, boom, gone much further ahead than where they were. But if you're talking email marketing for personalized campaigns, MailChimp certainly is the way to go. So we've got an unhappy person here. Why are they unhappy? Well, they missed their train. So, I mean, an email is not really going to be, how you're going to be handling this, but I see really, really soon, and probably, if not tomorrow, definitely in the new year, where we're going to know where our customers are. We're going to know that their train has gone, okay? And we're going to be able to make their lives a little happier. So this personalized lead generation, the email, I think, is really going to be something that's going to be part of the past. In the future, will just be simply push notifications. And how we'll do that is simply three ways, okay? We're going to be able to collect data from where everyone is. We're going to be able to segment this data, and then we're going to be able to give them very personalized content, okay? In this example, the little bot going, hey, we're sorry your train is late, or you've missed your train. Come on down to our cafe and get a free coffee. And hey, if you're a member, and you get a free cookie as well. Okay. And we can use AI, like I said, to collect the data, to segment it, to push out notifications when necessary. And then we can keep optimizing that depending on what the customer does. Okay. Hopefully they went to get the cookie. We'll see a little bit later. So the lead generation's a little, few more steps than the other things that we've got. And what I've done is I've broken it down and I've put down the different tools that we can use for this. And again, links for all of these are somewhere. They're here somewhere. Anna's got them. Erica's got them. So the first thing is you got to segment our audience. Okay. We do this with Google Analytics. We can do this with the Facebook audience insights. I think this is pretty standard that we're already doing this. We can also do this with our Google Ads. And there we go. We can definitely get the right content recommendations using the Google Smart Ads. I'm using smart ads at the moment. I haven't used Google Ads in some time, but I'm jumping back into them, and I have to tell you that they've really gotten a lot better than they used to. Here's an example here. I mean, this is just a smart ad that went up 4 days ago. Okay. It's cost me €6, 1.4 thousand impressions of 24 clicks for $6 over a few days. All right. And this is in Bremen. Okay. Bremen's a really small city. All right. So, I think this is much better than Google Smart Ads used to be. Much more effective than what the regular Google Ads are producing at the moment. If I look at that compared to my other campaigns. Present. Why is this not going? It's not presenting. Present, please present. Nope, it's not presenting. Can you see this? Okay, we're just going to do it like this.
Yeah.
Can you see it? Okay.
I can see it.
Okay, good. Okay, so right. So we've got our Google Analytics, we've got our Google Smart Ads. Like I say, we can also do this with MailChimp into it. It's a brilliant system. Third part, and we're going to do chatbots later, but you could bring in chatbots into the personalized marketing as your next step. Definitely no problem. And okay, good. Well, this is very silly. I can't get my presenting thing back on. And back to MailChimp. Like I said, they've really gone, full throttle AI. Intuit is the system that also does a lot of banking and finance AI. So it's a really good partner. All right. So there you can do the basic things, basic optimizing of sending your emails, etc. Does anyone use HubSpot or Salesforce? Because they are brilliant and they're really cheap. They have built-in systems for segmenting, but you can also connect them with companies like MailChimp or Tidio. I mean, they're worth it. Right. There's A/B testing. All the basic systems have A/B testing, from MailChimp to I don't know what. But if you were looking just for a special A/B testing tool, then VWO. These are all free. All of these I'm listing, they have free aspects to them. So you don't have to pay for these. Is a really good A/B testing tool that you could use. And again, for optimization, Google Analytics, I mean, G4 is, it's a bit of a pain, but still, I mean, Google still has a good product. And so you can combine that and optimize it together with the Google Analytics. So there's a lot of different tools here that you can bring in. And like I say, all of these here are pretty much free except for Google Smart Ads. Okay, that's not free, but okay, they're all free except for Google Smart Ads. Yeah, that will definitely, be one way that you can use a myriad of tools and test out, see which ones work for you for the personalized campaigns. What you're basically doing here is, wow, it just really will not present. Nope.
Someone suggested you click the full screen. I know it's not the same, but at the bottom,
it's not the same. Yeah, I've been trying all these different things here, and it's just not giving me what I want. Oh, hey, who was that? Who made the suggestion?
McKenna?
Whoever made the suggestion, thank you very much. I'll send you a free book. So basically what you've got is this, this sustainable process of data collection, of scheduling, of analyzing and optimizing. Okay. And in the end, you're doing this because you want a happy customer. So you're taking a problem, you're finding a solution, and there's so much that our clients do that, when we have this data, we can use it to help them. As soon as they purchase something, as soon as we know, where they've posted on social media, as soon as we know that the train is late, we can really, personalize and say, hey, we're downstairs, come down. See how happy he is now? He doesn't even care that he missed the train. This is great for him. He's got a free coffee. I don't know what that's in the cup, but however. So I've got some prices here. There's SmartWriter, which is probably the cheapest of at the moment from these three. There's Copilot, and then as you get up, Drift is pretty well known, but it's pretty expensive. But what's really important here is HubSpot and Salesforce, okay? It's like 20 to 25 bucks a month. Salesforce is amazing, okay? I don't get any money for saying that. But they offer a lot of products. They are really using AI. At the end of this, I've got a link for their video. They're really, really pushing AI. And for 25 bucks a month, you can do that. Anyone can afford 25 bucks a month, probably. It's just a few less coffees, okay? Free is good. Free is not bad, but there is that element of trust. If something's free, it's like, okay, nothing's free. Even a puppy's not free. What are you giving? So maybe be careful. Maybe just, vet the products. I use a lot of free products. But if they're not well known, then maybe be a little careful, okay? So even if you're giving a couple of bucks in a month, then everyone's got some skin in the game, and I think that's really, really important. I'm going to speed up here. Chatbots. Chatbots I like because they're immediate, okay? Unhappy person, they need help with their online shopping, okay? You can't call, no one's going to pick up the phone, but the chatbots are there. And I think this is really, really an important part of keeping our marketing systems going. Again, first step, you've got the data analysis, someone's having a problem, and sometimes you don't even need to know they're having a problem. You just know that here we get a lot of calls. All right, then you proactively preempt that and say, hey, if they are at this stage, pop up the chatbot and say, hey, we hope everything's going all right. You don't have to tell them that this is the point that everyone gets angry. You've got the automated responses. It's really good. And every time you do it, the AI will learn. It's not like me, I'll burn the soup 27 times. I just don't seem to be able to learn. But, AI is a little better at that. If it makes a mistake, it'll improve. Okay, so chatbots are probably a very important thing to have, all right? Fewer steps, all right? Google Analytics for understanding where our bottlenecks are. Where did we have people drop out of our process? We can identify right there. That's where we need the chatbot, okay? Zapier. Zapier is pretty cool, okay? Just gonna go back over to here to do Zapier. Okay, Zapier connects with MailChimp. All right, doesn't connect with Tidio. It's another one. So Zapier connects directly with MailChimp. So if you've got MailChimp, you can connect that very easily. Right. You can also use Raza if you like. I like Zapier because it's also a WordPress plugin, and WordPress is pretty cool. So all right, let's stick with WordPress. Monkey Learn, if you're doing MailChimp, stay with the monkeys. There's a free tier available there. All right, this helps with the language to really enhance terminology. There's nothing worse than the chatbot getting the wrong words, or anyone use Trello? All right, Trello offers free version, as does Airtable, which can really help with the content decimation. Exactly. Google Analytics is chat-based. Chat-based belongs to Google. So then you can really monitor any of the interactions, and that's going to help you for the next iteration. So chatbots, they're a simpler thing. Personalized marketing, this is the more difficult because you can really go wrong. Chatbot, it's always a good opportunity to help people. So there we go. Again, we've got a really nice process with the learning, the automation, and the improvement. I've got some list here for WordPress. All right. Tidio is right at the top. It's got free paid. Most of these are free and paid. A list with links to all of these we also have. All right. But as we're here with Tidio right at the top, and I can jump over here. This is the free version. Tidio, it's their AI Lero. All right. So completely free. All right. You can connect it. And what I like here is, and it's really important, we talked about sensitive information, about data protection, is look at this. I want to start using this, and immediately I'm getting this. And this is really important. Okay. The sorts of websites that we're not allowed to use this on. Okay. I don't have a weapons website or military, no adult content, things like that. But yet, I mean, you never know. If any of you are in Europe, you know data protection, okay? If any of you are doing SEO, you know Google helpful content, you know YOML, your money, your life, okay? So this is not much different, all right? So it's nothing, out of the ordinary, but it's a reminder that if we're going to use these tools, we have to be sensible and sensitive because, we don't want to be giving incorrect information to our people. So I like this. As soon as you get up, you need to understand the sorts of things. And, this is great because it integrates. You can import your FAQs, you can import your complete website, or you can add manually to get a really nice knowledge database building up. And if anyone already uses their FAQs in this way, this is a big win, okay? Exactly. So then with the chatbot, we've got the happy customer, we've saved time, we've got a lot more efficient, it's scalable, footprint is spelled wrong, enhanced customer engagement. It's a lot of wins when it comes to chatbots, okay? The last one, well, we know this really, really well, content generation, all right? Probably all of you could talk about that. This is us. We have no idea what to post on social media. Hands are up, okay? But, a lot of these tools, there's so many out there if we use them properly. Fits in really, really well as long as we've got a good plan, a good strategy, but that was always the case, okay? I'm pretty sure that no one here just posts randomly on social media. No one does this. There's always a reason. There's always a why. And that's part of your strategy. It's part of your plan. So that hasn't changed, okay? So while you're getting your coffee, AI can generate the content, and then you've got to review it. You've got to edit it, okay? And then you can use the other tools to distribute. So really simple steps here, okay? You've got your content strategy. You know what sort of content you want. There's so many tools out there, not just the ChatGPT, but I'm coming over here, here in Canva, and I can click here, oops, and I've got a magic write, and it will rewrite it, it'll summarize it, everything I want. I can say, I don't really like this, and then it can give me some new content eventually, taking too long. Hemingway is exactly the same way. Hemingway's got AI now, which is super great, but you have to be careful because it makes it, at some point, it makes it worse, all right? So if, I'll put in something that's maybe grade 12, and it'll bring it down, it'll bring it down to about grade 9, but after that, it just starts to get worse. You can, you can fix it here. And so right now it's grade 13, and it'll change it to grade 6, and then it'll compare the sheer number of blogs and then make it uphill battle. With so many blogs, it's hard to stand out and get readers. And you're thinking, okay, does that mean the same? Okay, so you gotta be really careful. It's just like Grammarly. When you use all of Grammarly's suggestions and then read it through, and then often you're going, wait a second, no, that something's happened. Okay, so be careful. Okay, AI is still learning, but there's a lot of extra tools. I think every system has some sort of AI built into it now, so really, really useful. Don't forget the prompt guidelines, okay? Primes and grounding, super, super big tick, and review the content, all right? I've had students submit academic papers with, APA citations, but then you look at them and you check, and those citations are completely wrong. I mean, AI doesn't know that. It just grabs them from somewhere. So be really, really careful, okay? Because these are your customers, all right? Yeah, treat them with a little bit of respect. Exactly. So the content creations, it's efficient and it just scales. All right, you can just do a massive amount of content. Personalization you can do at scale, which is really important if you've got a big customer base, and it gives us the ability to get information based on data. All right, they say the numbers don't lie, and it's really true. We've always had a tendency to ignore the numbers. But maybe sometimes to our detriment, okay? Maybe there's context behind it that we're missing, that the numbers are missing, but the numbers are there for a reason, and that can help guide us. And all you have to do is A/B test it, just to split test it. Do a campaign where you follow the numbers, do a campaign where you follow your gut. And then at the end of the day, you'll see which is right, okay? Maybe your gut's right, maybe the numbers are right, all right? Okay, so that's basically it. I'm sorry I had to zoom through at the end. I got the robot in there. He's happy. He's a friendly robot. So sustainability, it makes our lives easier, okay? As long as we handle the tools with respect. Just like when I was a chef, if I got sharp knives, I can work easy. If I don't sharpen my knives, they will get dull and I'll slice my finger off. Okay, so respect the tools. It's all about getting from A to B with the least amount of resistance. Remember, speed wins. Okay, if you get there faster and you got a good product, then you win. All right, which is just what I just said. Yeah, this keynote. Okay, the YouTube link is also in our link list. You can check it out on YouTube as well. It's the Dreamforce Salesforce Marketing and Generation AI. It's a great video, okay? Came out just like last month or something. They go through all of the Salesforce tools and how they integrate customer data. They do it real time. It's a great video. And they've got the new director of marketing there. He's there, he's talking. It's a great video. All right, so check it out, watch it. It's pretty impressive where things are going. Yeah, I don't have any shares in Salesforce. I don't work for Salesforce. But they seem to be visible at the moment. So I don't know, check them out. That's it for me. Am I on time, overtime, under time? I think I'm over time.
Yeah, a little bit over time, but we have a few questions that I wanted to read to you.
Please.
So McKenna is asking, how should nonprofit and businesses be thinking about donor or customer data privacy when using tools like ChatGPT-4? For example, what if I create a fundraising plan and anticipating giving Excel for individual donors using AI? Is that data private?
I don't think it is. my rule is that anything done online is not going to be private. Okay. I wouldn't use ChatGPT for client information. Because I have no agreement with ChatGPT. If I'm using Salesforce or MailChimp or somewhere where I have an actual contract, a legal contract with data protection, then okay. But I wouldn't just use random tools like this with actual customer information. No, I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, that's tricky with customer data privacy. Then we have a question from Dave. I visited your website, Warren, and was very impressed. Can you explain Thank you. Can you explain your process for using AI for copywriting on your own website?
Completely random. I get my students to do it. I wish. No, that's a really good question. So for me, I have always written the articles myself from scratch. I do this for my clients. I do this for my own website. What I've started to do, and you'll notice this on my website with the AI-generated blog images, I have started to bring in AI for structure. Okay, so I like to use it to build a structure. And some of the articles I will get AI to write completely if the articles are about AI. So normally what I do is I will create a list of notes, the sorts of things that I'm interested in and where this article is supposed to go. I will do some research online so that I can make sure that, figures and things I want are there. Then I will take those notes and I put them in ChatGPT 4. Okay. And I will prime it saying, this is the target group. This is how long it should be. As much as I can, I say, use these notes to put together. I'll read that. I'll edit it. Then I usually put it into Hemingway to see about readability, to see if there's any points that they go, wow, this is grade 14. And I'll see if I can optimize those a little bit. Then I will run it through Grammarly. Then I will put it online. But after it's online, I will do a couple of other things. I will print it out, because if I read it on a piece of paper, I catch things I didn't see on the screen. I will also then read it on my mobile, because I catch things on my mobile that I didn't see on my desktop. And finally, I will get someone to read it to me, because when you're listening to it, you catch things that you missed on paper and you missed on the screen. And I do exactly the same thing with my books. So it's a longer process, but yeah. I try to use the AI a bit more now because I'm teaching in all of my classes an AI module, and I want the students to be able to see things that have been created with AI, so we can discuss the merits of them compared to things that I've written or things that they've written by hand.
Awesome! Wow,
Thanks for the compliment.
That's a lot of work, a lot of steps.
Yeah.
And then I see Daniel in the chat suggesting there's an AI tool from Adobe called Firefly.
Yeah. I've heard of that, but I have not yet used it. But it's on my list. I'm slowly making my way through.
True. I see here one more question from Michael. I know we're out of time, but a minute. When using AI to generate content, is there any way to check, or should we worry about copyright and trademark and so on?
Currently, and I'm sure that will change, but currently AI-produced work does not have copyright. Now, if I use any AI material, I put in there where the image comes from, or I put in there that this text was written using AI, just to be safe. And anytime that AI generates content that that quotes people or mentions, things that I know don't belong to myself, I will go and double check that online to see if I can use that. So yeah, at the moment though, AI is still copyright free, but that will definitely change.
I'm sure it will change. Well, okay. Thank you, Warren. If someone wants to reach out to you, what's the best way to reach out to you?
Oh, well, definitely. Come up on Twitter. Otherwise, go to my website, and there's my email, in German or English or whatever other language you'd like to use. But yeah, if you can't find me there for some reason, just Google me. I am the only Warren Laine-Naida on the planet. So you should be able to find me somewhere.
Wonderful. Thank you. Everyone, I wanted to let you know we are going to send you all these links. So if you didn't catch them or you didn't click on them, you will get a list of all the links from Warren's presentation. And please keep looking out for our webinars. They will be listed under GreenGeeks.com/webinars, and we will also be emailing you when we get a new one. Danke. Thank you, Erica, so much for your help today with sharing all the links in the chat. And thank you, Warren.
Thank you, guys.
Hopefully we can do something soon again.
We'll see you next year. Hopefully AI hasn't taken over by then.
Yes, hopefully it won't be a webinar on AI. Like our webinar will be run by AI and not us.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Okay, thank you so much, everyone. And
thank
we'll see you
Thanks,
soon.
everyone. Have a great day or night.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.